The year is 2016, also known as Samsung's worst nightmare. Their second keynote introduced Galaxy Note 7, Gear VR, and Gear Icon X. We all know what happened to Note 7, but Gear Icon X was also a disaster. While they came with 4 GB of onboard memory for playing deviceless tracks, amazing sound quality, low profile design, and some other miscellaneous features, they were significantly finicky to control, accompanied by awful battery life. However, this was Samsung's big introduction to wireless earbuds. They stood with their tried and true formula for 8 years. Why would they ditch the design when it was working for them for almost a decade? Why AirPods-esque design? We already talked about the design controversy in another video, so we're not going to go into it in this perspective. However, we will go into the practicality of going with the stem design. Things as fits, controls, and battery life. In addition, we'll also look at my reasoning for not going with the standard Galaxy Pro 3 and going with the Pro variant. So without further ado, let's start with the unboxing. We've got a pretty standard and compact box. Inside the box, we've got the buds themselves with the case, USB-C cable, warranty, manual, and some ear tips. We've got a very nice polished finish, and the hinge is also well built, which makes opening and closing the case very satisfying. There's also a pairing button at the bottom. The glass top feels sturdy, but it is glossy, so you can see your fingerprints in bright daylight. I don't know about scratches though. The buds themselves are carefully constructed, very nice and premium feel. However, in all the promotional materials, they looked way longer than they actually are, which is a plus. Even though Samsung adopted the stem design, they're still low profile considering the design choice. Accented colors make it easier to identify their correct spot in the case. To pair these with your Galaxy device, simply open up the case and these should show up on your phone. Make sure to have your nearby devices scanning on. If you can't pair them, press and hold the pairing button on the case for 3 seconds and voila! Galaxy Wearables app is loaded with features. Buds Pro 3, you have voice control, pinch and swipe controls, adaptive noise cancellation, which are just the noise cancellation depending on your surroundings, and ambient mode. We'll get to these in a little bit. There's a neck stretch feature which reminds you to move your neck if you've been hunched over a desk. 3D sound, which is amazing and you can totally notice it. It can track your head movements to further enhance the 3D experience. These really let you see the ecosystem advantage, guys. Samsung has an animation on their website showing you how to put these on correctly. This might seem super obvious and pointless, but if you don't put them on correctly, you'll get uncomfortable really fast. So make sure to put it on as shown and try out the extra tips, ensuring you get the best and most comfortable fit. Putting them in the case, however, is a different story. You have to put them in these tiny openings, and sometimes you have to fiddle with these, unlike Buds FE, which are so effortless. To me, Buds FE still remain the most comfortable and secure fit. Moving on to the controls, one huge negative is the pitch control. When it works as intended, it's perfect. In fact, they simulate a physical button press, which is satisfying. But the pinch control area is super narrow. It's just this minuscule pad here, so when you're wearing the buds, it's not like you can pinch anywhere to do what you want. You have to specifically pinch that area, which is easier said than done. The thin and angular design means you have to use these a lot to get used to them. Swiping up or down once increases or decreases the volume respectively, but you have to keep doing this. I wish you could just swipe and hold for a continuous action. Also, using the pinch controls, you might mess up the orientation of the buds, so make sure to adjust them after pinching so they don't get uncomfortable. And while we're on the topic of controls, I wish this button was multi-purpose. At this stage, it's only used for pairing and you can't customize it for anything else. Imagine if we could customize it. For example, pressing it to play, pause music, turn the earbuds on or off, or connect or disconnect, or cycling between the paired devices. Some of these might be able to work with a software update, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I'm a simple guy. I see a button, I want unlimited functionality. Speaking of functionality, you can still connect it with only one device at a time. It's a bummer. I really wish you could connect it with at least 2 devices, but we can live with it, I guess. Yeah, that's all well and good, but what about the sound quality? Is it the best I've ever heard? No. But is it the best I've ever heard in earbuds? 100% yes. I feel pretty confident in saying that only a handful of buds can rival this sound quality. Probably the Sony XM5s. The sound is punchy and clear, accompanied by amazing bass and treble. Bass isn't the strongest, but it's probably just me, the guy whose playlists are just straight up psytrance tracks. Still, it's way better than other earbuds. You can clearly distinguish among all the different notes and details. These are amazing for complex and unorthodox compositions. Not to mention, you can adjust the sound however you want. So many different options at your disposal. Now, I should mention that these come with 96 kHz capability, but you need a Fold 5 or Galaxy S23 or above to utilize it. Otherwise, you'll get the standard 48 kHz. I tested it both on my Fold 4 and Galaxy S23. You can definitely tell the difference between those two. I was writing the script and this is the part I wanted to get to so bad that I kept getting distracted. Guys, I've used a lot of earbuds, earphones, headphones, and neckbands, ranging from budget to mid-range to upper mid-range to premium. I haven't used the utmost high-end premium ultra devices, for people who use FLAC and specific lossless audio files, but definitely enough to know what I'm talking about. Samsung sets the bar here. Before it was Bose Quiet Comfort, and when it comes to noise cancellation, Bose and Sony are the two names that come to mind. They're synonymous with outstanding noise cancellation. But there's no other way to put it. What kind of wizardry did they do? I don't know if it's the AI, the algorithms, the hardware, or some kind of combination of all those. We haven't even gotten to the perspective part of the review yet, but I'll just go ahead and say it. This gets my blank recommendation check just based on the noise cancellation alone. I was sitting in a bus and it was pretty noisy. The engine, other passengers talking, announcements, traffic. I turned on the noise cancellation and it was amazing. So I was like, it's pretty good. Then at some point I turned it off and took off the earbuds and oh my god, I was stunned by the noise it was suppressing. And it's effortless too. Normally you can feel the isolation simulation that the device executes to cancel the noise. Sometimes it's a slight high-pitched noise and sometimes you feel a little uncomfortable with some of the more aggressive noise cancellation techniques. But you can't even feel it. And the ambient mode is equally good too. Adaptive noise cancellation also works as intended. Hey guys, sorry for the mid-editing jump scare, but something's weird been happening with my Galaxy Buds Pro 3. The active noise cancellation doesn't work anymore. Or at least it doesn't work as well as it did in the beginning. At some point I updated the firmware and I think that might have caused these problems. I switched to ambient mode, adaptive noise cancellation mode, and turn off those things entirely, but they don't seem to make a difference. You can definitely feel the noise cancellation, but it's not as good as before. And I thought this might be my unit, just a standalone case, but I've seen so many other reviews where the opinions about noise cancellations are just all over the place. Some people love it while others are just criticizing it. And as someone who's experienced both of them, I think there might be something wrong with the firmware because I can definitely vouch for the noise cancellation quality. But I've tried all the provided ear tapes. I've tried adjusting my wearing methods. I've tried wearing them differently. And nothing seemed to help. I messed with all the options. I experimented with all the options, but none of them helped. And the weird thing is you can't find any of this information on the internet. I've reached out to Samsung support. We'll see what they say. I'll pin down a comment below. But I'm also going to send it off to Samsung repairs to see if my unit is defective or it became defective after the usage. So all of the information is going to be in the comment below. But yeah, noise cancellation recently it's been very weird. Unsurprisingly, the call quality has also been phenomenal. Voice quality, check. Noise suppression, check. Ease of use, check. Whether it's ambient noise, construction noise, or other good old annoying noise, the person at the other end had no difficulties in hearing. There's another feature in the Wearables app that lets you hear your own voice, making sure you don't speak too loud. It takes around slightly more than 1 hour to fully charge the buds and the case. In my usage, the buds lasted around 6 hours of continuous usage with active noise cancellation on. Adaptive noise cancellation gave slightly more endurance but barely noticeable. The case can provide you with more than full 3 sessions. It's been a while since Samsung upgraded their case endurance, so it's a welcomed change. If you're an Android user and you want top of the line earbuds, these are a must. However, I do wish the price was a little bit more affordable. But there is one significant downside. If you're okay with the in-ear design, then yeah, you should go for it. But this design is not for everyone. There were times when I kept readjusting them because they weren't sitting too well, or sometimes they would start to hurt my ears and I had to readjust them. Or sometimes I would be using pinch controls and I had to readjust them because if I didn't, I would immediately notice how uncomfortable I was. I tried all the provided tips and even the correct methods, and even after that, sometimes they would just be straight up uncomfortable. So if you looked at the design and you were like, I don't know if it's for me, you might want to reconsider your decision. With Buds FE, I never had to think about any of those things. So it is a preference thing. 3 Pro come with superior hardware, ambient mode, and a more isolating fit than the Buds 3. There are things that could have been done differently, but considering how it provides you with everything without a reasonable compromise, yeah, this is the way to go. Now we can only hope that Samsung can put the same innovation in their foldables as well. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Please like and subscribe because...
Actually, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. I was born in Ohio, okay, and we all hate eggs.
This is Rogue Hat. Catch you guys later.